Yeah, he did, and it's not an indictment on Matty Hendricks' play. He's been really good for us. It's just that we played 6 games in our first 7 or 8 nights of December, and we've got another one coming up against a big, heavy team. So we'll give Matty a little bit of rest, and he'll be ready to go. Anton played well against Winnipeg. It's shuffling the lineup. It's trying to get different players in.
Was there a thought to having Fully Arving maybe?
Yeah, having Yessi in would have been an option, or is an option, obviously, and we have pulled him out of the lineup as a healthy scratch. He's fighting a bit of a minor injury right now as well. So would we have used him tonight? We would have considered it, but it's just better for him not to, and get him going when he's 100%. Everything's on the table. It has been since day one, and right now we'll get him healthy. We'll try and get him confident, and we'll figure out things as we go forward.
Todd, from a scheduling standpoint, you talked about it. You guys are kind of in the grind. What sorts of things start to fall off when fatigue sets in, and how do you battle against it?
Well, a lot does. The team we're playing tonight, their schedule matches ours, and I'm sure their staff would love to have some practice time, as we would, but a lot of the little detail things that you get an opportunity to clean up in practices and reaffirm and just get players confident in certain situations, those begin to erode when you don't practice a lot. And we can talk about watching video all we want. Feeling that situation on the ice surface is the best teaching tool we have, walking players through it, getting them one-on-one so they'll ask questions, working on systematic stuff so that they understand where the good stuff's happening and the bad stuff. And we, like the Jets and many other teams, we just don't have that practice time right now. We will get some later on in the week, but we have to balance that with rest as well.
You guys put yourselves in pretty good positions to win those games.
Well, we have chosen to operate on 5-game segments, and we just finished one in Minnesota the other night. It began with our home game here against Anaheim, which we obviously won in overtime. The interesting thing was the 5 games came in 7 nights. It just never happened before. Every one of the games was basically an overtime type scenario, including the Philly one with the goal we gave up in the last minute. The good news is we're putting ourselves in those situations where we're right there at the end. We've been able to come back in a couple of those games. The bad news is we're giving up some leads later. Overtime hasn't been kind to us, due in large part because of penalties. We haven't been able to gain any momentum in overtime. Spend most of it killing. So there's a half full, half empty look at things. When all things are considered and you look at the grind of the schedule, we were 1 point short of what we wanted in this last segment. We'll probably chalk that up to schedule as much as anything.
Todd, how did you view the things that Connor said post-game in Philadelphia? It was obviously an emotional night, and you see that from your young captain. How do you think about it?
Well, Connor has an emotional thermometer. We talked about it on the road, and it goes up and down, and that night it went up a little bit. Yeah, you know what? I think he's, he moves the puck really well, which was a good sign. It's on his tape, it's off his tape. The pace it's probably less frantic in the National League for him. In the American League, it can be fast but scrambly. Here, it's less frantic, but the pace and the skill level is up a little bit higher. He's getting used to that. Our assessment is we're putting him back in the lineup again tonight, so that's a great sign. And he put himself on the map here, starting in training camp this year, and now he's even further along. So we've created more depth in the organization. He's done a tremendous job. Darnell, we'll have an update on Darnell likely tomorrow for everybody. Again, it's long-term. Brandon and Gribes will be close to playing on Tuesday against Columbus. They need some practice time now. Feiner is still, he's a little ways away.
Following up on Ryan's question there, is there any counsel, what kind of counsel is giving Connor as relative to something like that?
What kind of counsel are we giving Connor in that situation? Well, Connor's our captain. He's a mature guy. He's dealt with those situations since he probably played in Pee-wees. So he's just fine. His teammates look after him and take care of him. The game has changed. I know there's always the discussion about, hey, go do this and go do that. The game has changed. We have to remember that. And it's policed a little bit differently. And I'm not talking about the players that wear the uniforms. I'm talking about suits. And it is policed a little bit differently. So Connor's fine. I like to see him get emotional. He gets excited about scoring goals. He gets excited about playing against individuals. He rises to the challenge. I don't think there's anything wrong with the thermometer going up a bit.